Hi all, welcome to the channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods, and today we have issue 14 of Build Your Own X-Wing. So, let's get modelling. So, let's have a look at the magazine again. I always like to do this at the beginning. So, oh, Mr. Page. So, we've got bits on visual effects. Again, more data. There's a lot about Dagobah in this magazine, but yeah, a bit more about how they created it all. Starfighter Aces this week. We have Plo Koon. Okay, again, I think he was more in the Clone Wars TV series than he was in the movies, and we have a little bit more about him there. And we then turn to what we've got to do today. So there is actually quite a bit to do today. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to issue 15. I've heard that is a completely and utter nightmare of an issue. But let's just look at what the parts we've got. So we have got the inner wing frame, engine mounting brace. We've got some cover plugs, 3 of them. We have wing root cover, and we have a laser cannon cable. And we've also got some screws in this one. We've got some XW02 screws, which we've got some spares. We've got some XW03 screws. Again, we've got some spares of that. But we've actually got some new ones here, which are XW04 screws, 6 of them, and XW05 screws. And again, we have 5 of them. So yeah, some new screws. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is what I do with my screws. I get these little things, they're from Hobbycraft, and then I just take the label off the bags and label the sections of what screws are in, and then I can just access them and save the ones that come in extra, because they always do send extra, just in case you lose a screw or one's defective. Okay, so it's telling us that it wants this piece and this piece that we've done in previous issues, and we're using them this time for what we're doing. Okay, so I'll just put them to the side and we'll get open this pack. Okay, I'm going to use my scalpel set. My lovely wife got me for Christmas to open this one, I think, today. And like I said, oh, that is nice and sharp. And we'll get these bits out that come in this issue. I want to have a look at the parts as well, just check what are metal, what are plastic. Okay, so this part here, which is the engine mount brace, that's metal. This part here, which is the wing root cover, that's plastic. And this part here, which is the inner wing frame, that is actually also metal. Okay, and then we've got the various other pieces. So the first thing it's asking us to do is to bring over this piece, and it wants us to flip it like that. Okay, and then it's asking us to put this piece here that you see here this way around, and it wants us to slot it into place like that. And then it wants us to get this piece here, and it wants us to slot that into here like that. Okay, pushing it firmly down, and then secure the inner wing frame with some XW04 screws. So let's find the XW04, there they are. And let's get these open. So I'll use my new knife, hopefully to get into these. And they are smaller screws, but they've got like a flat tip on them. Try and get all these out. Sometimes the hardest part of these builds is just getting the screws out of the packets, but I've got them out now. Okay, and it's asking us to screw in a Zinger wing frame with an X0W screw. So I will get my screwdriver, bob it in, and screw the first one down. And then we carry on down. Let's have a look. Now, I've just noticed something on this I didn't notice before. Let me just take that screw out. I need to take this part out again. Easier said than done. Right. I've just noticed on this bit here that the paint they've used has actually, it's covered the hole. So sometimes you'll get that. So I'm just going to use a tool that's got a bit of a file edge on it. And I'm just going to file that down, make sure it's smooth on the other side, which it is, and then we'll bob it back into place. So yeah, I've never actually had that happen to me before. So that one's new on me. So what we'll do now is we'll get this screwed all the way down. So that's the first one back in. I'm going to do the far side, this end, screw that in. Then I'll do this middle bit, the bit that we've had the issue with. Now, once it's got to this point, it's saying that so drive the cylinder into the two holes. So, oh, we've got one here as well. Okay. But after this, it's actually changing screw types, I think. So, no, it wants us to put two of the XW04 screws into here. That's been a bit fiddly, I don't know why. Not normally. Ugh. That's why, it's because the pieces are not lined up properly. So that sometimes I use my head to try and hold it in. Right, let's get this screw in. There we are, first screw's in, and what it does, it'll line up that last one. So let's do that. Right. Now I've made a mistake here. On issue, on 7, so yeah, it's asked us to put one in there, but this one shouldn't be in there. So let's take that out, because it's actually wanting us to put the XW05 screws in. So let's open up these. So for just this one bit, it's using how many different screws? Makes sense? Not really, but you know, do as the model says. Right, let's get these out. Right, so let's be sure here. So on that one, actually this bit here wants an XW3 screw in it. So let's do that. So let's get these out. Right, so it wants in this end here an XW03 screw. Okay, so I've done that. And then it wants the XW05 screws to go into these holes here. So let's do that. I've never known a piece in a model to take 3 different types of screws. That's a little bit strange. Let's get this in. 2 more to go. And then would you believe the next bit after this is screwing more screws in. I suppose this is better than the dreaded issue that is coming up next time, which I am not looking forward to. Right, so we've done that now. We've got them 3 different screws in. Okay, so it's now asking us to put XW02 screws. So let's get them out. So I don't lose where I am with the screws, I always put the packet near to the screws so that I know which screws are which. And let's get these in. So there is 6 of these screws to get in all together. So that's the first 2. Now these screws actually have a round head on them. So not like the other screws that had a flat head on them. Number 5 going in. Last but not least, number 6 going in, and that's number 6. Right, so we've done that. So what it's asking us to do next now is we need to flip this over, and then it's asking us to bring the engine, sorry, and it's literally asking us to get the wire, thread it through this hole here. So we'll thread that through like so. And I've just knocked a screw on the floor, never mind. Find that in a bit. And bob it into place. Okay. Turn it over and put an XW02 screw. Now I can see this being a little bit fiddly. Trying to hold it while we screw it, but actually that went in a dream. I'm just going to try and find that screw that dropped. I think it's here. Yep, I've got it. Yep. Okay. So we've done that. Right, so the next thing it's asking us to do, it wants us to trail the wire down and around this part here. So we take it behind one of the lugs, round here, down past another notch. Sorry if you can't see this, guys. Yeah, that's right. No, wants to come out. You're not coming out. Right. Down through there, and then come out. Right, come out this part here. Okay, next page. Okay, so then it's asking us to get this wire. And it wants us to take the open end, which is that bit. And where does he want that to go? Let's have a look. So around the frame. So it wants us to into the socket, fit the socket firmly into the recess. Right. So, and which way does it want that to go around? It wants us to go around that way. So it wants us to put this part of it into the recess there. Okay. And then route the cable around the outer edge of the wing so it follows the path. Right, okay, so let's just check we got this right. So this might be a bit fiddly, so if I have to edit out of this one, I do apologise. I'm just trying to save the length of my videos not being too long and not me boring you all with unnecessary things. Right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to edit that because it would have been nearly 10 minutes. That was not the easiest of tasks at all, but as you can see, we've got the wire now going round the frame down there and following the same path. Alright, following the same path as the other wire. That was a nightmare. That really was. Yeah. Okay, so moving on. It now wants us to take this bit here and it wants us to slot it over here like so. Okay, and then it wants us to put in XW02 screws into the 3 holes. I think I must have dropped another screw because I've only got 2 of these left. So I will have to check my floor in a minute. Luckily I have a white floor and yeah, things in theory are easy to find, in theory. So let me just go and have a look for that now. Right, sorry about that guys, I'm back. I did drop another screw. Today, for some unknown reason, I'm dropping screws left, right and centre, and I don't know why. Anyway, I found the other screw. We'll screw that in. Okay. And let's have a look. So we've done that, all 3 holes. Then it wants us to take these tabs and then place them into the holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my sprue cutters. And cut all 3 off. The good thing about these is if it doesn't come off clean, you can always trim. And it wants us to put them in to cover the screw holes. So let's do that now. Gosh, they're difficult to push in. Ah, there we go. They are a bit tight, so yeah, I would advise getting something on the end of it just to push it into place. They're not like the rubber things we had on the R2-D2, these are actually plastic. And there we have it. That is issue 14 done. A lot of screws to put in on that one. But that's starting to get some weight to it now, which is great. It looks absolutely fantastic. Well, I do. I mean, a lot of people have been saying about this build that it's not as big as the R2-D2 or the Millennium Falcon and whatnot. And you know what? I love Star Wars, and anything I can build that's Star Wars related is good enough for me. So I don't know why there's not a lot of hype around this one. A lot of people are saying, you know, oh, you're never going to see all the engine components, and probably not, but you know they're there, you know you've worked on them. Okay, so and I wouldn't surprise me if somebody out there did a little bit of a modification on it and yeah, improved so we can see things, but we'll wait and see what happens on that one. Well, that's it for issue 14. I have issue 15, which like I said, I'm not looking forward to. I've seen quite a few videos of people doing the issue 15 and a lot of people having a complete and utter nightmare with it. But we'll do what we can do on the day, see what happens, and yeah, that might need quite a bit of editing on that one. But today just seemed to be really fiddly one with the screws, all the different types of screws and then that wire, but at least it's looking more like a wing. Now, the good news is on the X-Wing is I'm now getting the 5 issues a month that we should be getting, okay? Now, this has been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back so many times. It's been unbelievable, absolutely ridiculous that we've been only having 2 issues every month for, I think it works out of about 6-7 months from subscribing, which is a ridiculous amount of time to be making us wait for the 5 issues. But I have got the 5 issues, so don't worry there. The problem is now, as soon as we finish this, we're building another one. So there's not much of a change. I would have been happy if they'd have gone, we'd finished this, and then maybe we started to work more on the body or something like that. But no, we finish this and then we go into another one. And then I've got a sneaky suspicion we'll finish that one and then go into another one. So we're going to be doing the same thing month after month after month, which is a bit repetitive and a bit boring. And I just wish they'd sort of, you know, make it a bit more interesting in between it. But we did know we had 4 to do. So if you like this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you'll be alerted when any of my videos coming up. I'm also this week going to be in a live with Chris Davies. You can search for his channel on YouTube. So come along and join us there. Come and subscribe to him as well. And I'll see you later, guys. Bye.